It's all about the Macro Productions.
What does the goddamn line say, Tony?
Please do not use gendered language.
Then what? I'll be arrested, put in airport jail?
Look, you're going completely sideways, man.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
How dare you?
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dave on NBC.
Jack Marius Tack-Theratrix.
Hi, I'm Spartacus.
Jackson, Sacramento, he, him. Steven Seagal.
Sex offender guy.
I'm Keith Morris.
This is Muammar Gaddafi.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
Sorting through the lies.
The hijacker's passport was found blocks from the World Trade Center crash site, if you can believe that.
We cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
And uncovering the centuries-long plan for world domination.
Learning about Cuba, having some food.
Let's talk about Chinese people.
Have you ever been in a Turkish prison? Swangles in Fort Lauderdale?
I have sent 6 of my Libyan missiles to blow up the CS hardware department.
Nothing could be more fun than jumping off a cliff with 2 German bisexuals.
Oh, you English are so superior, aren't you?
Thank you, comrade.
And now, Macroaggressions.
That's what assholes call it.
With your host,
Buddy, I don't know who you are, but you're about to get chlamydia.
Charlie Robinson.
Hey, Whitey, where's your hat?
You want to drop the blame on Charlie and say it's all Charlie's fault.
He was a retard.
I get some goddamn diuretic.
Welcome to Macroaggressions. I'm your host, Charlie Robinson. If you are watching us on Rumble, Band.video, Vigilante TV, or you're listening wherever podcasts are served, thanks a million. We appreciate your support. Couldn't do it without you. If you want to connect with me, macroaggressions.io is the website to do that. You can find information about the books, the podcast, activist posts, natural blaze, all that good stuff. It's all there, the social media links. It's all happening. If you want to connect with my sponsors, I encourage you to do that. You can find them also at the website. Chemical Free Body has been with us from the beginning. They're making outstanding products that actually work. Want to help improve your health? You need to talk to Tim James. You can go to chemicalfreebody.com/macro and find out everything there is to know about the Water Hero system. Do you have that? Have you bought one of those yet? I'm going to get one for the house and have it installed because it seems like something that you could probably benefit from for a long, long time. The 90-day detox bundle, I've done that twice. I had to buy new shorts after that. That'll lean you out pretty good. So if there's something that you're looking for, if you want supplements but you're unsure who to trust, well, Tim James is the guy to do that. He's fantastic. He's been on the show more than anybody else. He always brings very helpful tips. So I'll tell you what, do this. Go to the website, check it out, read up on your own, and you see what you think, and you pull the trigger if you like to. chemicalfreebody.com/macro is the place to do it. Check it out and get yourself sorted out. Also, you've met Christian Yordanev. He's my certified health practitioner. If you're struggling with health challenges that you've been unable to resolve, like digestive problems, you've got low energy, you can't sleep, brain fog, hormonal issues like low sex drive or anxiety or weight gain. Good news is these are fixable. You can go to livelongerformula.com/macro and book a free health assessment with my friend Christian Yordanev. He's a longevity author and functional health practitioner. He'll help you get your gut working smoothly. He'll help you detox yourself, boost your testosterone, sleep like a baby, and function at your best because you deserve to be at your best and thrive, not just survive in this impending apocalypse. So go to livelongerformula.com/macro, where you can watch his latest masterclass on the 7 deadly health fads that are shortening your life. And after watching that masterclass, if his approach resonates with you, you can book a free metabolic function assessment with Christian so he can help you identify the root cause of your health problems. I've done it. It's great to look under the hood and find out what's going on over there. Make sure you mention my name when you're booking your session. You'll get a free gift if you decide to work with him to optimize your health and longevity. Go to livelongerformula.com/macro and take control of your health right now. Well, I'm back. I know you didn't know I was gone, but I was. I was in Hong Kong for a week. Same crew that we did Tokyo Drift with last year got together. Different reasoning, kind of, last year it was my buddy's Chang. It was the Chang over, as we like to call it. It was his 50th birthday, and he's like, look, man, I'm not getting married. We're just going to have to do the bachelor party. If I had a bachelor party, we'd do something like this. So for his 50th, we went to Tokyo. It was a blast. One of the guys in our group, Dan is getting married at 52 or I guess 53. Happy birthday, Dan, a couple days ago. And he said, let's do my bachelor party in Hong Kong. And we all said, fine with us. It's fantastic. Have you been to Hong Kong? If you ever get the opportunity, I know it doesn't come along all that often, but if you get the chance, go. You won't regret it. It's a fascinating city, country, whatever it is now. Special SAR, Special Autonomous Region of China. So it's like China Light. It used to be a British colony. They held on to it. They did a 100-year deal where the license, for lack of a better term, expired in 1997 and turned over back to the Chinese. Chinese were like, well, we're sort of different than Hong Kong. I mean, we want it because it's ours, but we're going to keep it separate. So when so it is Chinese, technically. If you get on a flight from Shanghai to Hong Kong, you're going to take the international terminal to do it, even though it's China to China. So they consider it separate. It's probably for the best. It's because it's not China, and I've been to mainland China, to Shanghai, and there's a huge difference there in a variety of ways. Not the least of which just societally, language-wise. Everybody speaks Chinese. Well, kind of. I mean, Mandarin versus Cantonese. I mean, it's a little different, and I think these days it's sort of transitioned more to Mandarin. But I don't speak either one of them, so it doesn't make a bit of difference to me. But what's nice about Hong Kong is you don't have to. Everything's written in English. The benefit, if there is one, to being a British colony forever is that there's plenty of international schools and everything's written in English, and you can deal with the subway system real easily, even if you're like, oh, I'm not from here, I don't speak the language. There's more people in Hong Kong who speak English than there are in LA. Okay, so if you can deal in LA and navigate that, you're going to be, you'll be bueno in Hong Kong. Love it. I think that if people, I like to travel. I like international travel. Always have. If you want to get a taste of China without going all the way there, then Hong Kong is really the pick for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the trip, about what we did, because every time I'm out in a place like that, I'm thinking about the show. I'm looking at it through the eyes of like somebody who writes books and somebody who does podcasts, and I'm thinking, okay, how does this match up to where we are in the States or where we are in, say, the West, with the sort of level of anxiety of the populace? I mean, how crazy is everybody in Hong Kong these days? We know how crazy they are in Portland. Does that sort of anxiety, has it spread? Is it everywhere? And in Portland, or in the United States for that matter, I can get on, I can go through the airport and you see people wearing masks. You just go, that person's broken. That person's never going to, come back to us. They're lost forever. When you go to Asia, I mean, the first time I went in 2005, everyone was wearing masks then, you know what I mean? So it's like there's pollution, there's motorcycles everywhere, and you put a mask on, not so much because you're trying to fight COVID, but you just don't want to be sucking in exhaust everywhere. And so from a cultural standpoint, mask wearing has been normalized in Asia for a while. So it's hard, you can't really use that as a barometer to determine whether or not these people allowed COVID to break their brains or not. All right. So Hong Kong is not Shanghai, right? It's not Beijing. They're not welding people into apartment complexes there. You know what I mean? This is a way more reasonable society. And so because of, I mean, I really enjoy the people in Hong Kong. And when I went I kind of got a taste of it growing up, because in high school, I went to high school, boarding school that was in LA, and in, West Coast, you'll pick up a lot of international students. So a lot of people from Hong Kong were there. I mean, every time I go, and this is the third time I've been, but every time I go to Hong Kong, I mean, it's dinners with people from boarding school and people I used to go to college with. I mean, I know for whatever, I mean, surprise, but I happen to have a nice network of people in Hong Kong, and they're all great people, real smart. It's a very educated society. I mean, I think if you take a look on the IQ chart, it's a top 5 country. It's not Japan. Japan is at the very top. Japan is a high trust society. I'd say Hong Kong is a medium well. It's almost there. You drop your wallet, or you leave your wallet at a restaurant in Tokyo, and you figure it out an hour later. You'll come back; it'll be there for you, and someone will have it for you. If you do that in LA, good luck to you. So, and I think Hong Kong, I put it sort of in the middle. So anyway, so Dan's getting married. We decided, yeah, let's go. One of the best guys I know, was my roommate for 8 years. When we left college, we all got a place together in South Bay, Hermosa Beach, and lived there. I lived there from 95 to 2003. So, and the whole time I was there, I was roommates with Dan. We moved different places, but within that, we'd grab some other friends. They'd rotate in, other people would rotate out. And so what this is the Tokyo Drift crew plus a couple more. And because we believe in diversity so much, we brought a chick with us. Okay. McFall is her name. That's what we call her. She's 6 feet tall. She's beautiful. She's a world-class shit talker. She's got the dirtiest mouth that you've ever met. And she's one of my former roommates. In fact, she's the only other woman that I've roomed with, aside from, my wife. So we love McFall. She's fantastic. And we all met each other in an 8 a.m. accounting class back at USC back in 94. So we've known each other for 30 years, and it was great. We had 11 people on this trip. It was a full house. One of the guys was already there, and some of the other people kind of came and rotated in, and I came from different places. So, had my friend Boatman. He was with us. He's one of the smartest people on the planet. He's and he agreed to come on this show too. So in a couple weeks, I'll have him on. His name's Travis Boatman. He's the CEO of a company called Carbonated. You can go to carbonated.com. They make video games, and they've got a new one coming out called Mad World. It's going to be like one of those I don't know a ton about the video game industry, but like a World of Warcraft where everybody in the world can join in and play at the same time. They've been working on this for years. I don't know how much money they raised. Tens of millions of dollars, I think they've raised. But when I have him on, he can explain it all. You'll love him. He's fantastic. So he and the video game guy helped make the invitation. So when you get done listening to this, what you want to do is go down into the show notes, and I'm going to have a link that says invite video or whatever, something like Hong Kong invite video. And I'll put the video up I'll link it in Rumble, and then you can go over there and watch it. And I encourage you to watch it. It's like a minute and a half long. So my friends are brilliant and hilarious, and some of them have some free time on their hands. So when they invite you to a trip like this, it's not just that you get an email and somebody says, hey, we're thinking of doing this. Would you like to go? It's much different. What I get is I get a FedEx package in the mail, and I open it up, and there are instructions on what to do. I've got, for the listening audience, you won't be able to see this. For the viewing audience, it's a 3D printed lion on it looks like a small pedestal. And it says on the back, flip the tiny white switch to the left, push the button. So I go, okay. Where's the tiny white switch on the left? Here we go. Switch to the left. I'll put it up to the microphone.
Hello, Mr. Robinson. By activating this device, you have accepted the secret mission in Hong Kong. Further instructions can be accessed with the medallion that you have also received. Good luck, you will need it. And now, this device will self-destruct in 3, 2, 1. Just kidding. But in all seriousness, this trip to Hong Kong will be one for the books, and we look forward to seeing you in April.
It just goes on. So anyway, I won't play the whole thing. I get a medallion. I'm holding up the medallion. Here's the medallion. It's got a dragon on it, and on the back, it's got a QR code, right? And it's also got some sort of like tracking device in it because the guy who sent it to me could tell where it was and whether it was in my house. So I open this up. I'm like, what the fuck have these guys done now? So I scan the QR code, and it's the full itinerary of where we're going, where we're staying, where we're going for dinner Friday night, where we're going Saturday night, the hotel. We have a hotel room at the Conrad in Hong Kong. Don't worry about it. It's already, all the rooms are already taken care of. Just show up, this sort of stuff, right? I then get another package, which also has the dragon on it. And you can, and then on the back, it has a web domain. You can go to rushhour25.com and find this. And basically what it does is I open...
My fellow legal Americans, listen up. Hong Kong is going to happen, and it's going to be just the best ever, nothing else like it. Are you all going to be the best club hopping, cocktail drinking, Chinese food eating, art of the deal practicing, international legends that I know you can be?
From the folks who brought you the Changover. This is the video that you got to see. All right. That's all I'm going to play of it. You got to click the link to find more. This is what Travis made, the video game guy. He said, I need pictures of all of you. I need recent pictures of all of you. And that's it. And so we sent it over. And the video came out, and it's unreal. It's amazing what can be done with AI. And so I picked Travis's brain the whole time we were there. I was talking about, what are you guys using it for, video games, and tell me how it's working and all that good stuff. So anyway, I think that how can you turn this down, right? I got to go. I have no choice. Obviously, I'm going to go. These are my best friends. But when somebody puts that much time and effort into the invite, it's going to be a killer party, and it was. So we all met up at LAX like old times, man. I mean, I've left this airport with these guys, or at least Andy from the Tokyo trip, who made it this time as well. Andy and Boatman, we've left from LAX to go to Cabo together, to go to Maui together, to go to Vegas together many times. Almost all of our Vegas sheiks were on the same plane out of LA to Hong Kong. I don't know if I'm sure I've told the story how we went to, it was pre 9/11, I must confess. We went as sheiks. We got all these great chic costumes from Sony ImageWorks. We had a friend that worked there. Actually, Andy worked there, and he said, I've got good chic outfits, costumes that are used in the movies. So we got 6 of those, got on an airplane 2 days before Halloween, dressed as sheiks, went through, the lax security that there was there back before 9/11, got on the airplane, flew to Vegas. It's like 6 a.m, right? We're landing at like 7:15 in the morning. Flight attendant comes by, sees all 6, sees us on the plane, and we land. Everybody's getting off. She goes, I'm going to need you guys to just remain seated and let everybody else deplane. We're like, oh God, here we go. We're going to jail. And as soon as we did that, then after everyone was off, the pilots came down. We go, we hear we have some royalty on this flight. We're like, oh, hell yeah. And he says, hey, you guys want to sit in the cockpit and take some pictures? So we've got great pictures of us dressed as sheiks on an airplane. Don't mind the fact that one of the sheiks is Taiwanese, right? Nobody ever asked questions about that. Not even at the... And I'll say, you haven't lived until you've gone to a strip club in Las Vegas dressed as sheiks. You want to talk about very conflicting messages that you're sending? Like, I think they're rich, but we didn't have real gold coins, obviously. We had those chocolate gold coins in these pouches, and so we would give them out to all the strippers and all that. So we were giving everybody gold coins filled with chocolate. It's so it's the same crew. So, we're up to no good. But flights, it's a hellish flight. From if you've ever made one of those long international flights, it's a 15-hour flight. And it's like, what are you going to do? I look over, McFall, I go, what do you got going on over there? She's like, she had 5 different types of snacks that were all lined up in her thing. She had Pringles and Junior Mints and Sour Patch Kids and all kinds of shit. But that, knowing McFall, I wouldn't expect anything less. So we had a bunch of people on the flight, which was great. I think the lady comes by with the cart. She's like, would you like a beverage? I'm like, do you have any beer? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, I'll take a beer. And I must have hit her up I must have had 5 beers. I mean, I've got a 15-hour flight. There's not much to do. I drank a ton of beers and listened to OBDM. That's kind of how I got through it. So anyway, we land on a Thursday evening, and take get into Conrad in Central. I don't know if you're familiar with the area. Drop our things off, freshen up, have a beer at the hotel bar. Then we head out to this fantastic rooftop private club. It's got a view of the entire harbor, great food, tons of beers. Now I'm meeting up with one of the guys who lives in Hong Kong, who I don't actually know personally, but I've been in the same fantasy football team league with him for like 15 years. So it was good he's like, oh, it's the White Devils. Of course, my fantasy football team is White Devils. So he knew me from my fantasy football team. I have a reputation, of course. So it was good to see them. We had a couple of the other guys from the Tokyo crew show up. They were coming in from London, so they joined us a little bit later, but they made it to this rooftop. I mean, the views in Hong Kong are unreal. You get yourself up into a restaurant at the top of a building or a bar at the top where you've got an outdoor patio, and that's where we were for this, man. It's amazing. We but also culturally very important in the Hong Kong society. So one of the guys that we were with is he's a partner at PricewaterhouseCoopers, consulting firm. Been around for, I think it's been around for like 200 years or so. It's one of those companies that's been there forever. And in Hong Kong society, it's extremely important that when you're sealing the deal, you got to take these guys out and show them a good time, whatever it is, right? Whatever deal you're working on. Part of it is, where are we going to party? So you can kind of appreciate their their frame of mind. They're like, we work hard, we play hard, we'll be out all night long, drinking. So they've got all these private clubs, private restaurants, and it's just, they're not open to the general public. You have to have a membership to be a part of it. He had a membership because, like I said, part of his job is entertaining, and we needed to be entertained, and we are entertaining when we're out. I assure you of that. And he had a fantastic, we had a great time with him the whole week. So, and we're on our best behavior. I mean, there's nothing, we're not really up to no good, but it's a fun group, and there's a lot of like ball busting going on and all that stuff. So you got to have thick skin to hang out with all of us. The two guys from from London, DK and Chip show up. They're super successful business owners. They work in like, DK was my roommate for a while. He's been in oil and gas industry forever. He's got stories about that. Financial services. These are really fucking smart guys, and so much fun. So much fun to go out with. So, and then of course there's Chang. Chang was with us. Chang, the star of the Chang over Tokyo trip, you know, the one who brought the Instagram models and all that stuff. He's the co-coordinator of this event, and we thank the Chang Foundation for helping to sponsor this trip in conjunction with, I think, George Costanza's Human Fund, right? The foundation that doesn't actually exist, but manages to block out a floor of hotel rooms for us. It's always great. We thank the Chang Foundation, and you know, he manages a real estate empire in Taiwan, and we think we're pretty sure, and he and I will be heading out to Oasis later this summer in LA. Actually, I've got to tell you. I mean, one of these days I'll have Chang on the show, and you'll see what I'm talking about, man. They broke the mold when they made this guy. He's one of the best guys out there, but he is. It's like, what would you do if you were single and wealthy and liked music? Well, he sent me his concert list, his summer concert calendar. It's nuts, right? So in no particular order, Dua Lipa at Wembley. By the way, he does not live in London. He just likes to go to London for concerts. Lives in LA. Dua Lipa, Wembley. The Weeknd at SoFi, LA. Oasis at Wembley, MetLife, New York, and Rose Bowl. I'll be at the Rose Bowl one with him, and Sam Tripoli and Johnny Woodard from Tinfoil Hat. So we'll all be there. Chang's going to Chris Brown at SoFi, Sex Pistols at the Hollywood Palladium, Above Ground at Fonda Theater, never heard of them, The Darkness at Wiltern in LA, Bryan Adams at the Kia Forum, Sabrina Carpenter at the Crypto Arena for some fucking reason, The Struts at Wiltern, and Wet Leg at the Greek Theater. I mean, that's just Chang. It's fucking Chang, man. I don't know what to tell you. He's living the life, right? So, spent the next day in Kowloon. Kowloon, for geographic purposes, Hong Kong is an island, and you got to go across the harbor, and right across the harbor on the other side is Kowloon, and you, for all intents and purposes, there's no real separation in the sense that it's, you get on the subway, you can go wherever you want to go, and you can wind up there. It's just like, I don't know, suburbs? No, not really. I don't know how to describe. It's not as wealthy as Hong Kong, right? So it's kind of where maybe working class people live, and that's where you're gonna go shopping at Mongkok for, at the night market, and where you can get the, Louis Vuitton bags that aren't really Louis Vuitton bags, but probably are, the gray market type stuff. They'll sell you the cheapo fake ones that look like shit, but also then what you've got to do is you say, well, yeah, I like what you got here, but do you have anything else? Do you have anything else that you can show us? And it's like wink, wink, nod, nod. And they're like, oh, yeah, we've got something else. And then they like pull out a walkie-talkie and they go, and you go, okay, come with me. And you go, all right, where are we going? And they walk, you leave the night market and you go kind of down an alley, and you go up some external staircases, and then you wind up at this door, and then they buzz the door and somebody says something in Chinese, and then all of a sudden it opens like a vault, and then inside that room, then they let you in, and then they lock the door behind you. You go in that room and you're like, oh my God, this is where all the good stuff is. This is where all the real stuff is, the gray market, meaning they probably made the majority of the bag there. In fact, they did. And maybe maybe They place an order for 1,000, and just for quality control purposes, they make 1,050 of them, right? And some of them are extras, and and some of them don't get shipped, and they go, well, we've got these, they're legit, but we can't sell them, so they go out the back door, and then you wind up finding them in these places where you get legit, real good stuff. And I don't give a shit. I don't need a purse, as you might have imagined. So I don't really have much, enthusiasm for going out purse shopping. But if you're somebody that does, who knows the difference and wants a good bag for like, a tenth of the cost, then this is a place to go for that. So anyway, that's what we did. We wandered around Kowloon. We went to Sam's Tailor. This is the third time I've been to Hong Kong. It's the third time I've been to Sam's Tailor. I always go. Met the owner back in 2005. Met him again in 2007. Stayed in touch via email with them. Whenever I need a suit, I just could email them and say I need a suit. They made the mistake of asking us when I was getting my suits made in 2005. They said, they didn't ask me, what is your name, so that we can embroider it in the suit. They said, what name would you like embroidered in the suit? Which is a very different question when you ask me. So I have a few suits that when you open it up and you see the nice, cursive writing stitched in there with allegedly my name. It doesn't have my name. It has one of my favorite names that we ever found, which was one of my roommates was going like door to door selling business internet back like in the late 90s. And he was waiting in the lobby of this place, and he was looking at all the Employee of the Month awards up there. And there was one dude who won the Employee of the Month award at this random place a bunch of times. He must have been a star over there. Had the greatest name ever. His name was Roosevelt Thirsty. And we cracked up about that forever. So when the guy says, what name would you like inside your suit? Well, I've got plenty of suits that when you open them up in the inside, it says Roosevelt Thirsty in there, which is great. So while we're there at Sam's Tailor, he's showing me, he's like, hey, I got to show you all this stuff. I go, what do you got? I got some new fabrics. I go, I'll take this. I want a dress shirt made out of this. I want one made out of this. And then he starts showing me the interior linings for the suits. And I didn't wind up buying a suit, but one of the guys I was with, Chip, is like, I want a suit. And I go, what are you going to get as the lining? He's looking through the book with all the lining. I go, oh my God, you got to get this one. If I was getting a suit, I would have got this. It was the interior lining was Bitcoins, all these Bitcoins with a purple octopus everywhere. It was Bitcoins and octopus. I was like, oh my God, you got to get this. I took a picture of it. I got it. He's like, I think I will. So he got his suit made. He got a nice suit, and on the inside you open it up, it looks like something I would have. Bitcoins and octopus, it's perfect. So there's a video of me doing sort of like Sam was like, what are you doing now? I'm like, I'm writing books. He's like, what are you writing about? And I said, I'm writing about government fuckery. He goes, what? I go, all these people on your wall, they're all bad people. He has pictures of himself with all of like the British royalty in there. It was like Tony Blair and like Prince Andrew and all these people. I was like, come here. So I did a guided tour, not on my phone, somebody else's, of me in the dressing room. And in the dressing room, there's like, the whole thing is plastered with pictures of him with David Bowie, him with Mick Jagger, him with everybody, every musician you can think of, every politician you can think of, Bill Clinton. Shows him measuring Bill Clinton's leg in the fucking White House. I was like, Sam, all these people, they're all criminals. He's like, no. I'm like, they're all criminals. And he's like, no. I was like, they have sex with children. He's like, no, that's not true. I go, that's all true. And he's laughing at me. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to send you one of my books, Sam. You'll never do business with these people again. He's like, oh no, they're good people. I'm like, I assure you, they're not good people. So that was just a fun time to reconnect with him. He's an old Indian guy, But that's a legendary place. If you ever go to Hong Kong, you got to go to Sam's Tailor. It's in Kowloon. You got to take the train over there and drop it off. You go up Nathan Road, it'll be on your right. You'll find it. It's a legendary place. But so we did that, and had ourselves some fun. Everybody got some shirts, or you got some suits, and it's kind of what you do. Then you got to come back. The thing is that they make it right there. I mean, you come back for a fitting. Like we were doing this is like noon, and Sam's got private label beer. Every time I'm in there, he's offering me beer. So he's like, hey man, you want a beer? I'm like, of course I want a beer. I mean, it's noon on a Friday. Of course I want, and we're suit shopping here, like, and I'm off work. Let's have some beer. So I look and I go, oh my God, you've got your own beer now? He's like, well, we do a lot of business with the brewer, and I was like, that much business that you've got your, he's like, well, it's a nice little perk we've made for everybody. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So the thing is that you got to come back like the next day. You got to come back, not for the shirts, but if you're getting suits made, they've got to do a little extra fitting. So you come back and they've got half your suit done, and they're doing all the things that tailors do, pinching here and pulling here and making marks on it and everything. And then, I didn't even have to come back. He just sent him straight to my hotel. I got a package with a bunch of dress shirts in it, which is fantastic. So anyway, we did that. That was a good casual day. Dinner at a restaurant called Mott 32. If you're a New Yorker and you're familiar with Chinatown, there's a Mott 32 in Chinatown in New York. And this place was fantastic, man. I mean, we back in the old days, we would have spent all our money out at a club somewhere, getting in, doing and it's sort of changed. It's evolved for the better, I think. And nobody can handle a late night of this sort of nonsense we were up to back in the mid 90s, but not at our age anymore. But we will go out for a nice dinner and close the place down, which of course we did just about every restaurant we were at. And so fantastic. Obviously the best food. If you want good Chinese food, go to Hong Kong, man. You will get spoiled with it for obvious reasons. Drinks at JW Marriott afterwards because it's connected to this mall. The hotels are kind of where we were staying. The hotel's connected to the mall. Real nice high-end mall, like the type of mall where you walk around and you go, oh, this is great. I would never buy anything in here. You're like, oh, the Louis Vuitton store. It's like, well, you can't get in the Louis Vuitton store. You have to have an appointment to get in the Louis. It's like, oh, I don't want to go. I'm going to Mongkok, man. I'll get you some Louis Vuitton bags for a very reasonable price. I'm not going to pay $3,000 for this stupid bag when I can get one for $40 down the street. Anyway, not that I did that. Every morning we'd get up, we'd go down to the hotel. They've really great breakfast buffet, complimentary for everybody. So we just start down there eating, get off on the Saturday we were there. We went to a place called the Peak. You got to go to the Peak when you're there. The Peak is obviously, as the name implies, at the top of the hills in Hong Kong. You can see everything. Well, you can see everything if you're not stuck in fog. And we were in fog, and it was rainy and kind of not the best, but I've been there before a couple times, and it's beautiful when you can see things. In this particular case, one of the things that we did that, again, this is when you've got a computer nerd guy with you who's really good with AI and who made the video the invite video. We did this thing. We were all standing outside. We had a person that, hey, will you take a picture of all of us? And she did, and it was like, I think there were six of us at this trip to the Peak. So took a picture of the six of us, and we're just standing. It's kind of gloomy out, but we're just standing there. Travis took that picture, has an app on his phone and I don't know which one it is. It's some AI app. He put the picture in and then played around with it a little bit. And then like 2 minutes later, he's like, hey guys, take a look at this. We all looked at this static image of us, and we're like, oh, okay, cool. Send it to everybody, let's make sure we all have that picture of the six of us together. Travis goes, do you want this one? And so he pulls it up. We're looking at it. It's a picture of us. Mind you, we didn't shoot a video. And we just stood there, took the picture, and then got done and walked away. In this AI program that he has, he animated the video he animated the picture, the photograph into a video of us standing there, lightning striking behind us and all of us running and scattering away. And I sent that image to my wife. She goes, "Oh my God, are you guys okay?" I was like, "It's all fake." So this is the reason why I had a million questions for Travis. How are you doing this? What are you using this for? And he just kept doing this the whole time. He took a picture of one of the day we were at the horse track. I'll get to that story in a little bit, but sometimes the food that comes out is a little too authentic for me. Like, it's a fish, and the fish has been chopped up into pieces, and one of the pieces is the entire fucking head, right? So it's just a fish head, right? Or whatever. Well, this time around, it was someone ordered chicken, authentic chicken, and it's like, here's a chicken. It's like all the parts of the chicken, including the chicken head. And I was like, I'll pass. I'm sitting there. I've got McFall next to me, and she and I are on the same sort of dietary restrictions, which is code for we ain't eating chicken heads. And it was on like one of those lazy Susans. And so I see Dan's on the other end. Dan's moving the thing so that the chicken head is right in front of us. I was like, get that fucking thing away from me. Well, Travis took a picture of it. And then about 5 minutes later, he's like, "Oh my God." He's like, "Take a look at this." And I was like, "What?" And I look at and he has made the chicken head come to life, and it starts talking in Chinese. He went, Travis doesn't speak Chinese, by the way. He said, "Put it in Chinese. I want the English translation to be, 'Brothers, go without me. It's too late to save me. Save yourselves.'" It's saying that in Chinese. So he showed it to like the waitress, and the waitress was like mortified by this, right? He's like, "Your chicken is one," and she was like, "I don't know what to do about this." And she like walked off, and it's like, oh my God, she's going to have nightmares. So anyway, the advances in AI, I got a real good lesson on it, and we're fucked. I mean, I'm sorry to report, but we are going to be in a post-truth world where they can make these videos do whatever they want, right? After we left the peak, after we got done with all this stuff, we're like, well, let's go do a group massage. It's not one of those massages, just so you know. And I hate massages. For the record, I don't like people touching me. I don't want somebody rubbing all over my body. I mean, I know everyone's like, "Oh, don't you feel good after a massage?" I'm like, no, I don't. I am tense the entire time. I don't want somebody rubbing my shoulders and touching me and doing all that stuff. I'm not down. On this one, they're like, "Well, what kind of massage you want?" I'm like, we'll do the foot massage, right? How bad can that be, right? And so there were 6 of us from the peak. We'd come down to this place, and then we got the other 2 guys who were back at the hotel. They'd been out late at night, and so I'm like, "We're at this massage place. Meet us over at this massage place." Where, like, I don't know where the fuck we are. We're somewhere. Here's the address. Figure it out. So they showed up, and they were in another room getting their own, but they put the 6 of us in one big room together, and they're, and it's very quiet, and all the people come in and they start working at soaking your feet and hot water and everything. I'm like, "Oh, this is pretty good," because I am freezing. It was freezing ass cold at the peak, and none of us were prepared for that. So I was cold. I was like, "Oh, this feels pretty good." So we got the full blown like foot massage for, I think 4 of us did that, and Travis and Chang did like the full, what they call 4 hands. So it's like a lady down at the bottom working on your feet, and then a guy up at the top, like working on your shoulders and everything. It's like a 45-minute massage that we're going through, and we're all just being super quiet because we're trying to be respectful. But just like in the middle of it, all of a sudden, it's Chang snoring his brains out, and I'm like, "Oh my God," So we all burst out laughing at that. It was perfect. We got done, went across the street, had a nice lunch, had some beers there. There's not much trouble we can really get into. But that night was the big night. Saturday night was going to be the big night, the big, like, nice dinner. And not that Mont 32 wasn't a nice dinner. I mean, it was, but we're going to the Kowloon side, had a great reservation at this hotel up at the top. I don't know what building it was. We went over to the peninsula first, had a drink at the rooftop bar of the Peninsula Hotel, and then went over to this other place, and it's just a lot of like drinks at one drink at one place, and then you move on to the next place, and you have one drink at that place, and then you move on to the next place, and then you have dinner, and then you have dinner and drinks there, and then after that you got to go to another place. It's like you're constantly on the move. If I were somebody that had one of those, like, how many steps have you taken today on your app, it would have been quite a few, because we did a lot of walking there. But we took the ferry. You can go a couple ways. You can take the train underground under the harbor, or you can take the ferry across the harbor. Best deal in the world, the ferry, $1 Hong Kong dollar, which works out to 12 cents American. You could take the ferry across, and then you wind up in Kowloon and wander around, and that's what we did. We had an amazing dinner. Bill was astronomical, but there were a bunch of us, and we, it was like a Last Supper type thing, I mean, we really did it up, and if you're somebody who likes sushi, you would have been in heaven. It was fantastic. But we're in a private room, and we're right in the corner of this restaurant with windows everywhere, so you can just see from Kowloon. We're looking back over across the Hong Kong side. It's beautiful, man. I mean, the way they've done it they light up all the buildings. It's not just that there's a big high-rise building there. It's that building has been embedded with lights, and they do these cool light shows. At least they did the last 2 times I was there. I didn't see really much of a light show this time, but the buildings like come to life at night. And there's a lot of people. Everybody's out doing stuff too. It's not like you're going to find like too many like roads with nobody there. There's so many people. It's like 7.5 million people, and it's tucked into a very, very small island, but it doesn't feel too overwhelming. It doesn't feel as overwhelming as New York. New York, I'm constantly claustrophobic when I'm there. I just want to get away from everybody. I never really feel that in Hong Kong, and didn't feel that at all in Tokyo, because everybody's underground. There's so much going on underground that half the people are down there. But Dan had a great bachelor party dinner. Dropped a couple $1,000 on that, but I think all would agree that it was worth it, because it's one of those things. You only do it once, and you got all your best friends together, and you're in a really cool location. It's like, well, if ever there was a time, now's the time. Sunday, the next day after that, it was the horse track. It was the horse races. So we put on our best Dumb and Dumber outfits, got dressed up in suit. Not really, but we dressed up for the event. We all looked pretty snazzy, like not Kentucky Derby level of fashion insanity, but we certainly were going for it a little bit. I needed a fancy hat. I never got a fancy hat. I'm a bit disappointed. But we had a catered VIP box, because again, back to the culture of entertaining there. We met up with another partner from PricewaterhouseCoopers, who was the guy who had the hookup at the horse track. So see, the thing is that each one of the partners has their own sort of thing. Like, one guy's got the private dinner club membership, and the other one's got the hookup at the horse track for that. And so sometimes it's like, hey, I've got clients coming into town, they want to go to the horse track, you got to coordinate with your buddy who's got that, or vice versa. So these guys were friends, and I didn't know the horse track friend until that day. But I took the opportunity while I had these guys there to talk about some business and to talk about what's going on with the Trump tariffs with regard to China, and ask them about where they see this going. And he said, well, I mean, and both of these Hong Kong guys who live there now lived in Southern California for a long time, grew up in Southern California. So they're Americanized Hong Kongers. And so they go back and forth. And so they understand the United States as well as I understand the United States because they're from there. But they have the additional benefit of understanding the Hong Kong market in particular, but also the China market as well. And they said there's a lot of ships, a lot of cargo ships that are filled up with items waiting to go with nowhere to go. So either they're not going anywhere or they're detouring south to Vietnam, either offloading the gear onto another ship or doing some sort of fuckery that gets them around the tariff system. And then they're going from Vietnam to the United States and they don't have the sort of restrictions that they have. But they both said, get ready for store shelves to be a mess in a couple of months, because a lot of the stuff that you guys were counting on getting ain't coming. It's not coming because the ships won't let them. And it's also in part not coming because the Chinese government isn't in a huge hurry to send you the things that you need. So it was a fascinating conversation with these guys. And they're, they didn't really have any energy pro or against Trump. They're business people. They just want to know what they can work with. The tariffs were throwing a big monkey wrench in a lot of things, and they were having clients that were asking them, how do we manage this situation? And they were saying, well, first of all, don't panic because we think that this will get resolved, but also here are some options that you have that may involve detouring through other countries to make it happen. So, so after this was all wrapped up, after we did the horse track is a trip, man. I'll tell you, I always knew, that the Chinese love to gamble. It's just cultural. They love it. When I lived in Vegas and the Venetian, the Sands Venetian, it's the Adelson casino that he started. A lot of these companies that were in Vegas were also in Macau. Macau is also a special autonomous region. It's a former Portuguese colony that's just geographically like an island that's very close to Hong Kong. You can get there. You can go on a boat from Hong Kong to Macau. I've done it. I've gone through the casinos there. Very different. You know how in Vegas you go through, or really anywhere in the United States, if you're in a casino, you walk in the door and it's ding, 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 all that, all the slot machines are kind of making noise and doing all that. And then you go make your way to maybe blackjack or craps or whatever. You get a good craps table, a bunch of people, yeah, everyone's yelling, oh, fuck, like when somebody sevens out and, there's energy in there. When you go into a casino in Macau, it's silent. It's like going to a library. It's the most disconcerting feeling because you're expecting there to be some sort of just energy, and it's not. And I talked to the guy back in 2005 when I was there. I talked to a guy who had the liquor license for the casinos in Macau. He was a friend of my friend Andy, who was with me. Andy and I've gone to Hong Kong twice together, but and he's saying, and I'm going, oh my God, you've got the liquor concession for the casinos? Like, you just be printing money. If you're the only guy who can bring the liquor, and he goes, well, you might be surprised. He's like, alcohol is not even top 10 drinks there. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, tea is number 1, water is number 2. He said, the thing is that the way the Chinese approach this is that they go into a casino like it's war. It's them versus the casino. And they don't want to have any sort of, they don't want to have anything holding them back. They don't want to make a miscalculation. They don't want to be wasted out of their minds playing blackjack. They want to be dead sober. And I thought, oh, and he told me that before we went to the Macau casinos. We went over, later that day, and I was like, oh, now I know what he's talking about. It was very weird. Not a fun, not a fun place. But I knew that from living in Las Vegas and reading the Review Journal and knowing a little bit about the gaming industry, that they would say the thing that Americans don't understand is that the average blackjack table at the, I don't know, maybe it was the Wynn or Caesar's Palace or one of these places. Let's just say the Wynn. The average blackjack table in Vegas takes in about $2,200 in profit a day. And the average blackjack table in Macau takes in $22,000. Oh my God. So there's a huge pivot to Asia with regard to gaming. You've seen that in Singapore, the Marine Sands, and it's just cultural. So when we were at the horse track, we were talking with the partners, the PricewaterhouseCoopers partners who know what's going on there, and they were telling us, like, do you know how much money is like bet at an average track? He's like, if you went to like Santa Anita track in like Pasadena, we all were from Southern California, so we know the area. Oh, yeah, I've been to Santa Anita. He's like during a Saturday or Sunday, big race, like this at Santa Anita, they'll probably do $2 million in gaming revenue, not profit, but just $2 million in revenue. That's how much will be wagered on this. He said here in Hong Kong, first of all, we have you can bet on your phones like you can in the States, but you can bet specifically for the horse track. And he said, and this is like a big day for the horse racing here in Hong Kong. I said, was it like the Kentucky Derby? He goes, not that big of a day. It's like a step down. It's like one of the majors when we were there. The place was packed. He said, so like, to put it in perspective, Santa Anita might do $2 million in revenue, but he goes, today here at this track, they'll do $200 million in revenue. I was like, oh my God. So after that conversation, he's like, we got to go down out of the box, out of like the suite, the like luxury suites where we were. Let's go down. We'll take the whole group down and we'll go through the stands where everybody is. And that's the area where everybody isn't dressed up in suits and looking, like they're at the Kentucky Derby. That's just where the people are, right? The people who don't have access to this luxury. And we wandered around there. The place was packed. Everybody was, and I've got great videos of it, and you're right down there. I mean, we were right at the finish line. We could stand there and watch everything go by, and the people were just going apeshit in there. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. I'm not a huge lover of horse track, of what the cruelty to animal component of horse racing. I don't love that, and I'm not a gambler. For living in Vegas as long as I lived, I never really gambled all that much, but it's an experience. I'd say high on my list. So we left the horse track, went back. Everybody got kind of undressed from the zoot suits we were wearing, and after night after night after night of just spending an ungodly amount of money on dinners and things like that, we're like, someone was like, I vote we go to Steak Shack that's in the mall connected to our hotel. And it was universal. Everyone was like, I agree. So we did a little stay, sometimes you got to bring up, we're like, we Americans here, at some point I'm going to need a cheeseburger, so we did that. And then the following day, Monday, this was the day we were getting up. So I was there from Thursday through Monday. Breakfast with the boys, plotting for next year's trip. We have some, there's been some cities thrown around. Budapest is on the list, Dubai is on the list, and Yellowstone is on the list as well. Probably going to lean towards something domestic, probably going to be something like a Yellowstone. Talked about doing like a guys type trip where it's like riding horses and shooting guns and fishing and all that sort of stuff. So we'll see. But headed out to the airport with Andy. Andy and I were on the same flight back to San Francisco. Another trip, 20 years apart. Andy and I have done this. He's one of my closest friends, was especially there for me. He's always been there for me, but especially there for me when I was going through my situation with my mom. He lived down the street in Vegas, and so he would keep me sane by taking me out to lunch talking about anything other than what I was experiencing back in my mom's apartment. So, but when we got off the plane in San Francisco, he was heading on to Vegas. I was going to Denver, and I had a couple hour layover there. That was immediately we, pull out your phones, check your messages, see what's going on in the world. That was when Portugal and Spain had the power go out on them. So I get off this flight. It's grueling, right? It's just, there's no easy way to make that trip because there ain't nothing to it but to do it. You just got to sit there and, you don't have to raw dog the flight necessarily, but there's only so many shows you can watch. And, you get off there, I see this and it's like, oh, fuck, power's out in Europe. I'm like, this is a bad sign. And then, immediately my little conspiratorial mind starts going to, well, what else? Is this going to stay in Europe? Is this going to spread? Is this coming in our future? Maybe. But got home and really enjoyed the trip. I feel the need to summarize it with you guys because I've been honest about, what we do and what I'm into. Hong Kong is great, man. I recommend it. Again, if the scenario ever presents itself, don't let the flight stop you from going. You'll figure it out. But getting there and experiencing that, it's super expensive. It's an expensive city for rent. It's out of control. It's not as clean or as organized as Tokyo, but no place is that I've been. People aren't overly friendly. They're nice, but they're not going to go out of their way to impress you with that. It's not as automated as mainland China or Japan is. It's a British colonial empire focused on banking and trade and import, trade hub of Asia. It's not as much manufacturing. It used to be back in the days, it'd be like made in Hong Kong. Well, there's some of that, but it not a ton. Maybe textiles and things like that. But as far as like heavy manufacturing, that's all gone to mainland China. It's all there, and Hong Kong is focused more on financial services and consulting and things like that. It's a big world out there. There's lots of opportunities if you know where to look. Network your ass off as much as you can. It works. Maybe you can go become an import-exporter like Art Vandelay. You can go to Hong Kong, make some connections, and become an import-exporter, right? As Costanza always said. But get out there and see the world. It's the best form of education, authentic education you can find. At least get out there while we still can, right? If you like this episode, you can take the additional step of sharing it with your friends and family. Connect with me, macroaggressions.io. Go to Activist Post, bookmark it. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you again soon.